Back to give you guys some more tips on collecting for Funkos. You guys seem to really like that. This video may flop, but the other video is doing numbers, so if you don't like this video, go check that other video out. Pretty much just going to add some more tips to the collection side of things when it comes to Funkos. None of this is say all be all, just some of the things that I came up with and some of the things that I would recommend. You don't have to take any of this seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. If it applies to you, it applies to you. If it doesn't apply to you, that is completely okay. These are just what I feel like should be tips. If you got any other tips you want to add in the comments below, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Tip number one, this is something that I think is actually really kind of important, is simply just tracking your collection. Now, I know last time I talked about making sure you stick to a theme in your collection, but I think there's really nice ways of tracking your collection. Obviously, first off, you have the Funko app specifically. Just scan it and bam, you're in there, you're good, you're solid. And if you're really crazy and wild, you can actually put them on an Excel spreadsheet. I probably wouldn't recommend an Excel spreadsheet too terribly much. I don't even know how to make Excel spreadsheets personally, but that's not the point. I would just recommend keeping a track of what you have. So one, you don't double up on stuff. Even with me tracking my stuff, I've doubled up on things way more than I should. I don't even follow my own rule, which is kind of crazy. That's not the point. Also just helps you keep track of things like market value and some of the other features as far as like chase rarities and things like that. We'll talk some more about some other tips that are kind of relevant to that. But yeah, that's tip number one, is just track your collection. I think it's really important. One, you can show off how many you have. Two, just lets you know when it comes to picking up more Funkos, which ones do you have, which ones do you not have. And you can also set stuff on like a wish list, so you can kind of keep track of things that you want to get. I think it's very useful. That's just my opinion though. Tip number two, keep an eye out for the market value. Now, I know the last time I was talking about, don't be a scalper, common sense. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. Got some great tips on there. But when it comes to knowing the market for your collection, one, if you are a person who does like to keep up with the value of your pops, which is why rule number one is pretty important for me as well. You can actually kind of keep an eye on how the value, it's just like stocks. If your stocks are doing really well and you may want to sell it, that would be the time to do so. If you start seeing it take a dip, you're like, okay, maybe it's about time, I should get rid of these. I have a lot of pops, probably easy 200 pops that I could get rid of right now. And my overall collection is probably about $17 a pop. It's nothing crazy, maybe a little bit over the market. But ever since they did that collab with eBay, where a lot of the verified users for Funko started selling on eBay, the market crashed. My pop Funko collection used to be worth almost like 10 grand, and it's just...
Hello? What's that? What do you mean they hit the second tower?
I didn't keep up with the market. So I'm pretty sure there's ways you can kind of keep up with that. If you use some of the tracking apps like the Funko app, you can actually see the trends for the value of your Funko Pop. I think that's really important if that's something that you're into, as far as like the stock aspect of it, is making sure that you're keeping up with it. I personally don't sell my pops. I'm thinking about starting a whatnot shop. If that's something you guys are interested in, I'm already verified, so let me know if that's something you want to slide, maybe get some of my collection. I don't know. Anyways, shameless plug. But I think it is something that you should look into, especially if you do collect, but you also want to make sure you clear out, because it doesn't make sense if you have a lot of Funko Pop and maybe you kind of grew out of them and maybe they do hold some value, and you want to make sure you get rid of those before it's too late to get rid of those. Or you can hold on to them and maybe they'll go back over time. I remember I used to have this Walgreens exclusive Moon Knight Funko, and I kid you not, it was like $12 when I got it. And for years it just sat there, and then the Moon Knight movie came out, or the Moon Knight TV show on Disney Plus, and it shot up. Same thing with my Miss Marvel, even though that kind of flopped when the show flopped. You can sell it when it's hot, when things are starting to become a trend. So especially if you like certain collections, comics, and there's gonna maybe be a movie or something coming out, peak time would probably be to sell it when those things are getting a lot of traffic. And then if you miss that window, you can always hold on to it, or you can auction them off or stuff like that. But watch the market value. Tip number three, stay informed. Some of the best ways to do that is Funko Finders. It is a great resource if you're on Instagram. A lot of information I actually get is from Funko Finders. Absolutely great Instagram page. And shameless plug, subscribe to me if you guys want, because on Fridays and just randomly on these Funko Fridays, I am going to start doing things like Funkos that are coming out. I have a couple videos where I've done that before. Just make sure you're staying informed. There's a lot of people who are on like Whatnot, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit. There's a lot of ways to stay up to date with things that are coming out, but as well as even just things that you may have missed. For the longest time, I don't know if you guys seen my previous video, I was actually able to get my hands on the Miles Morales Hot Topic exclusive from winter like a year ago. Could not find it, could not find it, could not find it. I was on a Reddit thread and someone was like, yo, they got them back in stock on Funko's website. Copped it. Super easy. So if you've missed something, you know something's coming out, you know something's not coming out, but maybe some people have some inside information on it, you can get really great information by following the people who know how to keep up with stuff. I recommend Funko Finders. They're literally the person I go to for anything that's coming out. Like I said, Reddit, X, I guess it's called X, not Twitter. There's tons of ways that you guys can keep up. You should subscribe, and I could try to keep up with it. I was trying to record this and there was a whole storm going on behind me, so my microphone sounded really bad, but this is the collector corpse you get from Amazon. Every 2 months, I believe it is, they send you a nice little box of goodies. You get a t-shirt, you get an enamel pin, you get a sticker, and you get 2 nice Funko Pops with the exclusive sticker on them. Obviously, you can see that this month it was Wolverine. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the Deadpool Wolverine movie, and next month we get Groot. Tip number 4, this is kind of just like a personal preference because I do a couple of these on my channel, is check out mystery boxes. They're kind of underrated and super slept on. Now, Funko themselves has mystery pops that you can get for like $5. They have the actual Funko like pop, and then they have the soda pops as well. But then they also have people who actually have their own versions on their websites, on their shops and things like that, where you can pay and you can get mysteries depending on what genre you like. It kind of like helps you take a little bit of the mystery out of the mystery. If you get them from Funko and stuff, they're completely random, but there are other places that sell them where you can pick if you like anime, if you like movies, if you like TV shows, whatever. I think it's a great way where you can kind of get a little bit of a mystery aspect of it, and you may mess around. And I paid $5 and got in a die cast, which isn't super crazy, but like you pay $5 and there's like a $60 return of investment on it. So that's something that I would maybe kind of look into as well, mainly for the funsies. There's no like, you gotta do this, but I think it's kind of cool, especially if you do like collecting. I open up cards and stuff like that too. There's like a gambling aspect. There's like an addiction where it's like, ooh, what am I gonna get? What am I gonna get? So even if you're someone who doesn't open up, you don't do content or anything like that, I think mystery boxes are kind of a cool way to go about getting some new stuff to your collection. Or maybe it was something you didn't even know about and it just came to you and you're like, I didn't know it existed. And now you have it. And you paid probably less than what you could have. Be careful sometimes, be careful, check your reviews. Can't guarantee where you're gonna buy them from is gonna be necessarily reputable. But do your research first. Always do your research. That's a tip for any collection, anything, do your research first. And last and final tip, and this one is just honestly just like a personal preference, is keep in mind how you're gonna collect your collection. When it comes to things like displaying your pops, how you're going to advertise them around your room, or even if you are someone who sells them, just make sure it looks kind of nice. I'm obviously not in my room where I'm usually covered around in Funko Pops, but I have a pretty decent display how I show off my Funko Pops. You can get display cases. Funko themselves sells these really nice, they got like a velvet on the inside and you can fit 8 pops inside and you can hang them on your wall and stack them. There's a lot of awesome ways that you guys can display your Funko Pops. Make sure that they're shown off properly. Make sure you also, like a little tad bit note onto that one, is make sure you're also cleaning the pops. They're in the box, not hard. You can get like a microfiber cloth, wipe those puppies down. If you're taking them out of the box, little airsoft, little those kind of things, just make sure they're not dusty and kind of gross. And I need to do an update on my collection as well because I haven't cleaned them in a while, but make sure you're displaying them properly. And it's starting to rain, so just make sure you're displaying them properly and you're able to kind of clean them off as well. Like I said, it's about to rain, so if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe is absolutely free for you guys. If you guys have any tips that you want to add in the comments below, I'd absolutely appreciate it. If you're seeing one of these videos pop up on screen, check them out. I would appreciate that as well. Aside from that, guys, take care and comb your hair.